This is Grace Notes, and I'm Alan Button. Grace Notes is a production of Life 103.1 and features people who, like the Grace Notes in musical scores, brighten our lives in special ways often unexpected, but ways worth celebrating. It features those people and the music they select. My guest today is April Baker. April is originally from Goose Creek, South Carolina, and makes her home these days in Whitakers, North Carolina, and is the founder of a ministry entitled A Touch of the Father's Love, a food pantry and ministry based in Battleboro. I understand, to get us started, April, that you grew up as kind of an outdoors person.
Actually, I grew up in the city.
Oh, you did?
I did. I'm a city girl.
Well, tell me about the fishing and shrimping and camping and shelling at the beach that you did.
That was Dad taking us places. Mom and Dad loved to travel. I had always dreamed of living in the country, and that's where I am. I'm living my dream.
Very nice. Well, I understand, too, that music was a big part of your life growing up. Tell me about that.
My parents loved to listen to the 60s music and songs like My Girl, and I would just dance and sing around the living room and listen to Mom's records. And Mom and Dad would dance, and it was sweet. Great memories.
What do you do music-wise these days, if anything?
I'm so busy with what I do at the pantry. We do have music playing a lot, and I love music. I love to sing. That's the only instrument I can actually play is my voice. So
You make a joyful noise.
I try my best.
Well, tell us about the food pantry. Let's start with a little bit about how you got into that.
I joined my aunt and her husband. They had a small food pantry called Baker Family Ministries in 2008. They started that. And I just caught the bug. I mean, it was, how can you not get excited about helping feed people that need help? So in 2012, I started my own A Touch of the Father's Love. It's now a 501c nonprofit, and I've just took this thing and I'm running with it and feeding a lot of people each month. And it's hard not to get excited about this.
I saw on your website a reference to animals as well. Hurting people and animals, I think you described it as. How does that fit together?
Well, with the animals, we have rescued some horses and some dogs and cats. And I saw a great need for people needing help with their animals. We see this a lot at the food pantry. You know, they would rather feed their own food that they get from us to their animal than to themselves. There's so many people that need help with their animals in order to be able to keep their beloved pet. They need help feeding them.
Yeah, we read regularly about animals that are neglected, and often it is from a nutritional standpoint.
Right. It's hard for people to be able to feed themselves, much less their animal. They have a really hard time sometimes. You know, things come unexpectedly. You see so many people, they'll come to us because after paying their bills and buying their prescription drugs that they need, they have nothing left for groceries. And so that would not even give them room to feed a dog or a cat that they love. They struggle really hard. And we're seeing a lot of people now that are middle-class people that are also calling us. They struggle. They've lost their businesses. It takes a lot for them to call. You can hear them on the other end of the phone with tears. You can hear that. And they'll say, I've put this off a long time. I didn't want to have to ask, but is there any way you can help? But that's why we're there. We want to help. We're there to help. We just wish we could do more.
What's the scope of the ministry geographically?
We're actually serving a large majority of Nash County. We have Edgecombe also coming for food, and we have Wilson County that come. There's a lot of veterans in Wilson County. We have a connection there with the veteran pantry. So last year alone, we fed over 22,000 households with food. About 66,000 people were touched by the food from this food pantry. We've been incredibly blessed with an abundance of food from different stores that support us and the North Carolina Food Bank that we're part of. So we're able to reach an incredible amount of people. But the need is great. We get new calls every week.
Tell me how the North Carolina Food Bank operates vis-a-vis organizations like yours.
They give us access. Through them, we have the USDA program. The food bank also has given us opportunities to buy food at 19 cents a pound from them, which stretches that dollar a long ways for food. So we're able to reach so many more people because of the low cost of purchasing food from the food bank. There's also many stores that we have now because of the food bank and their partnership. We have stores like Sam's and Walmart, 2 Food Lions, Target. We're very blessed.
I take it you do this close to full-time?
Very much full-time.
Yes. Maybe more than full-time. Huh?
Yes, never expected to be so full-time, but love it. It's a lot of work. But you know, it's so rewarding to see so many people to see the smile on their face, to see the tears in their eye when they come up, and the relief they feel. You know, we've had so many tell us, we've stopped going anywhere else. We only want to come here. And it's because of the way you make us feel that you respect us. You give us love, you give us respect. And that means a lot to people that are struggling. No one wants to ask for help. But when you ask and feel so warmly receptive, and when we're able to say, we're there for you, we want to be, that's why we're here. We try to encourage them. You don't have to stay here forever. You know, now some people are elderly. Because of the high cost of living, prescription drugs are so high, they may be like this for a long time. We're there for the long haul, as long as they need. But some people, this is just a season. We've had people call and say, you know, you don't have to call us, you don't have to help us anymore. We've got a job now. We're going to help you now, or thank you for being there for us. And they move on. And that's the greatest thing to hear when you hear someone say, we can make it now without you. That feels so good.
And of course, they'll remember you for the rest of their lives because you helped them get through.
Maybe so.
Well, speaking of music and your motivation, you've identified a song entitled You Lead that we'll go ahead and put on the air. But tell us what it is that's special about that song to you.
I've made so many mistakes with my life, and anyone who knows me knows that I've struggled. I just was natural for trouble. I was drawn to it. But, you know, I've learned when I let Christ lead me, he's got a better plan for me than I do.
Well, let's hear it. You Lead by Jamie Grace.
I got waves that are tossing me, crashing all over my beliefs, and in all sincerity, Lord, I want to be yours. So pull me out of this mess I'm in, 'cause I know I'm wandering. Lead my soul back home again. I've always been yours. And this world may push, may pull, but your love, it never fails. You lead, I'll follow. Your hands hold my tomorrow. Your grip, your grace, you know the way you guide me tenderly. Yeah. When you lead, I'll follow. Just like the way and I'll go. 'Cause I know what you got for me is more than I can see. So lead me on and on. Just lead me on and on. As a child I heard your voice, but as a girl I made my choice. There is no other way for me, I'm devoted to you. Oh, you're my peace on the heavy days. You're the warmth of an autumn blaze. Your love carries me away, and it's never too soon, no. And this world may push, may pull, but your mercy never fails. You lead, I'll follow. Your hands hold my tomorrow. Your grip, your grace, you know the way you got me tenderly. Yeah, when you lead, I'll follow. Just like the way and I'll go. 'Cause I know what you got for me is more than I can see. So lead me on and on. Just lead me on and on. Sometimes when I wake up, I don't wanna rise up out of my bed. Too many thoughts in my head. Don't wanna be who I used to be. Gonna take the back seat and let you lead. And I need to stop, 'cause I'm going too fast. And I know my God is still God, and you got my back. So you lead, I'll follow. Your hands hold my tomorrow. Your grip, your grace, you know the way you got me tenderly. Yeah, when you lead, I'll follow. Just like the way and I'll go. 'Cause I know what you got for me is more than I can see. So lead me on. Lead me on.
Well, that was You Lead by Jamie Grace. We're here today with April Baker, the founder of a food pantry ministry called A Touch of the Father's Love. Tell us a little bit more about the need that you see out there in terms of hunger and whatever else it is that you've discovered people are going through.
I don't think people really realize in this country, actually in North Carolina, did you know there's 1 out of every 4 children go to bed hungry? And so you come in contact with so many children and just looking and thinking, wow, they're going without. What can I do to help? Every one of us has an ability to do something to help. And if someone like me can make so many mistakes in my life, but yet I can still do something to make a difference for somebody else and help them, anybody can. And I love to see people come together and want to help us. It's so exciting to see they catch the passion.
I think you're being a bit modest when you say if you can do it, anybody can do it. I think most of us probably aren't up to starting a food pantry or making it grow the way you have, but I gather that there's room for volunteers.
Very much. It is a lot of work, but it's so rewarding. We need volunteers on every level. We have food that comes in Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And when it comes in, it is all day long from these stores. It's a lot of lifting, and we have to weigh it, we have to sort it, we put it away. That requires a lot of help. And we really could use more help in that area because these are very heavy boxes at times, and some of them are 80, 90 pounds. We also distribute on Wednesday mornings and Saturday mornings. The boxes have been made and put together, and we distribute putting them out to the people. And it takes a whole lot of coordinating for that and for the traffic volume. There's so many levels. You have one volunteer, all she does is sit there all day and makes phone calls and appointments.
How many volunteers do you have involved?
I would say around a dozen. They're wonderful. I can't do this without the volunteers.
How do people get on the list?
All they have to do is give us a call. Some have stopped by the building to see us and asked to be put on the list.
And when they're on the list, then you call and make an appointment for them to come in and get their box of food?
We sure do. We do. And because it's such a large box and there are other food pantries available, we try to do it on a monthly basis with them. That way we can spread it out to everyone that needs help. A lot of these people have become family to us, and it's just so neat to see them once a month when they come in for that box of food, and then they get to shop outside in the market for their own breads and their own produce. So when they leave, they've got a trunk full of food.
You've identified another song, April, that I understand is one especially meaningful to you, and I guess with a title like it has, we can understand why it might be special to you.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
It's titled Jesus, and I tell you, my life was a mess before I met him. I even had an accident in my car. I flipped it 3 times. I totaled that car. But as I'm flipping and I'm looking and seeing the road upside down, I could just hear his voice. And he said, "I've got you. You're mine." And I immediately knew I was going to be okay, and I got calm. And, I made it through, and I had so many people that came. They came to check on me, the rescue squad, and they said, "I don't know how you made it out of this alive. This should have killed you." But he had me, and he has ever since.
When was that?
The accident, 2003.
You obviously have a primary motivation grounded in things spiritual to do what you do. How do you deal with people, either volunteers or others, certainly recipients, who maybe don't share your faith perspective?
The way I do with all things, you just be patient and you show them love. And, you realize if they come to you and they're angry or they're hostile or they're rude, you got to remind yourself there's a reason behind why they're acting like this. Maybe they're hurting. Maybe they've never felt love. And we just try to remember they need to see it.
Let's hear the song, Jesus by Chris Tomlin.
There is a truth older than the ages. There is a promise of things yet to come. There is one born for our salvation, Jesus. There is a light that overwhelms the darkness. There is a kingdom that forever reigns. There is freedom from the chains that bind us. Jesus, Jesus, who walks on the waters, who speaks There is power in your name. You're my rock and my redeemer. There is power in your name, in your name. You walk on the waters, you speak to the sea, you stand in the fire beside me. You roar like a lion, you bled as a lamb, you carry my healing in your hands. God, you walk on the waters, you speak to the sea, you stand in the fire beside me. You roar like a lion, you bled as a lamb, you carry my healing in your hands. Jesus, there is no one like you, Jesus. There is no one like you.
This is Grace Notes, and I'm Alan Button. Our guest today is April Baker. April, the founder of A Touch of the Father's Love, a food pantry ministry in eastern North Carolina. April, you mentioned earlier veterans. Tell me a little bit more about how they fit into what you do.
Well, quite a few of the volunteers that come out at the pantry are veterans, and I love to hear their stories. You know, some of them suffered so much with PTSD that they didn't want to come out of their homes. And they happened to hear about us, and they would give us a chance. And it was so neat to watch them come out and start volunteering and bloom. They get their confidence back. They might have been shy at one time and didn't talk, and now you can't get them to stop talking. And not only that, we have a lot of veterans that come and that need help with food. They struggle too. Plus, we have twice a year, we go out and we feed the wounded soldiers at Camp Lejeune. We're going back April 27th up in Jacksonville. I think at this point there's about 250 wounded soldiers, and we go feed them lunch. It's just an opportunity to give back to them, to love on them, take them snacks and feed them lunch, and just build a relationship with them. They're so brave for what they do for us every day.
So these are not retired military?
Not the wounded soldiers, no.
What is it about their situation that has them with need for food?
Well, we actually just go to take them lunch at Camp Lejeune.
Just as a special treat?
Yes. They actually have that available for anyone interested. There's a man up there named Dallas you can contact, but you can just go up there and see. It's called Wounded Warriors. It's a battalion up there. It's not the same as the other Wounded Warrior. Once you've seen them, these young men and women who serve for us and get injured for us, you can't help but get addicted, and you want to go back again. You just want to tell them thank you. You know, that's why we go. It's so much fun. And we've got groups from all over going with us. When we first went the first time, it was 5 of us. And now I think we're over 40, and people are still signing up.
I'm interested in what you said earlier about the veterans who have suffered and have, to some extent, come out of their shells because they have volunteered to assist with the food pantry. What is it about helping others that makes for a positive impact in the lives of those who are doing the helping?
It just feels so good to know you can. And I think the vets feel the same way. Every one of us just love the fact that we can give back and help people who really need this help. And the people are so appreciative. You've got elderly, I think our oldest is like 98, that comes up there to get food. And she'll drive up, she's got her little cane, and I'll go to her car because she's a little unsteady. And I'll say, sweetie, we can bring you your box. Oh, no, I'm getting out. I want to shop in the marketplace. I want to pick out my own produce and breads. And that is just so exciting to me to know that, you know, we can bring the box to her, but she wants to get out and she wants to pick her own stuff out. And there's just something about that. It's a respect, you know, and it excites them to know that you care enough that you would do this for them. And anyone can do that, and we can all be part of something like that. And I think the vets love giving back, which amazes me. They've already done their part for all of us. You know, some of them have so many injuries. We have one that's had over 40 surgeries, and he's still giving back on a daily basis for the other veterans and other people.
There's something about being useful that's good for the soul.
Yes. We all have that in us to help each other, to look after each other. Mankind, I mean, we're made that way.
What kind of vetting do you do to identify those who are in need?
We just really go by word of mouth. You know, if they call and say they need help, we're there to help them.
So they don't have to pass some kind of background check or
No,
anything like that?
Not at all. No.
Do you get concerned that you might be taken advantage of
Oh, sure.
sometimes?
Sure. I'm sure we are at times. But, you know, those few that might not need it, that might be taking advantage, it's such a small amount that it can't contend with the large amount of need.
What does your family think of your involvement with the food pantry?
Well, I know Mom and Dad have said they're very proud. Actually, they're in Albemarle. When they get a chance to come up, they always help. It's so fun to watch them come in and help. You know, they're in their 70s, and they come right on in and jump in. And
How about your children? Is this Mom's thing, or is this something that they're involved with
it
too?
used to be Mom's thing, but you know, as my girls are getting older, I'm seeing them. I mean, my daughter's now taking up her own cause at school. In about a month, she'll be starting a little closet at her school for girls that need help. And she's getting makeup and getting nail polish and hair dryers together, and she wants to give to girls that really have a need for those types of items. She sees it at school, and that's what she wants to do in another month. She's already been approved by the school to start this, and that's her project, so she's excited about it.
So, like mother, like daughter.
I think so. I think it's catchy.
April, it occurs to me that out in this world that is full of challenges and difficulties and problems, that a lot of people might view you as unduly idealistic. How do you respond to that sort of perspective?
It's probably good I never hear it. I'm so secluded in this food pantry, and I'm in there, it seems like, it feels like I live there. I don't really hear a lot of naysayers. Over the years, I've heard a few that say that, you know, these people really don't deserve it or whatever. But, you know, it's not up to me to judge that. And I do see the need. I hear it every day. And that's the difference. They don't. Those that don't think highly of what I do, they don't hear the need out there. They don't see it. And it's okay. It's really okay.
I'm reminded of a story, kind of a parable, I guess, I've heard about somebody walking on a beach and seeing a bunch of starfish that are caught on the sand, having been washed ashore, and this fellow's walking along, tossing the starfish back in the water, and there are just thousands of them. And somebody says to him, "Man, you can't make a difference. You'll never get all those starfish back in the water." And he says something like, "Well, it makes a difference to this one." And he tosses that one in. It strikes me that what you're about can be viewed in the same way, that you're making a difference. Although the problems are huge in this world, you're making a difference in the lives of those whom you touch.
Really trying. We're a family, and it's a group effort. So I believe we are making a difference. I'm seeing it. I hear the testimony of people that come to us and ask for food and ask for prayer, and then they'll come a week later and they'll be so excited. You know, I've got that job now. I got a job. I don't have to come anymore. Thank you for what you've done to help and encourage me. We hear those stories. And it's so encouraging to know we were there for that part of their life when they needed us. We had one woman, I will never forget this story. You know, she let us know that she had decided, because she had lost her job, she had no food, she had no hope, that in 2 days she was going to kill herself. And she happened to be outside, and she overheard her neighbor talking to, I think, a repairman. And he was telling him about a food pantry that gives out food and helps people. And she heard about it. She got our information, and she came out. And we loved on her, gave her food, prayed for her. And that's when she told us, I was going to kill myself in 2 days until I heard about you guys. And now I've got food, I've got hope, I've got a job, and her life changed dramatically, all because she had heard about a little food pantry. Those are the things that keep me going.
Great story. April, if people want to make donations or get in touch with you or someone else at the office, how can they do that?
Well, the office number, they can call if they're interested in help with food. They can call 252-343-3362. And if they need me for any business of any kind or want to volunteer, they can just call my cell number, 252-377-2209. They can also like us on Facebook. You just go to A Touch of the Father's Love.
Well, you're looking forward. I mean, the things that you are involved with in terms of making a difference, it's with the future in mind. And you've got another song here that has that perspective. Tell us about it.
I can only imagine. Yeah, I know when I'm no longer here, that's what I can envision the future when I see Jesus and when I see God for the first time. And I love this song.
Well, our guest today has been April Baker. April, it's been a treat to talk with you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's go out with the song, I Can Only Imagine, by Mercy Me.
I can only imagine what it will be like when I walk by your side. I can only imagine what my eyes will see when your face is before me. I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I can only imagine when that day comes and I find myself standing in the sun. I can only imagine when all I would do is forever worship you. I can only imagine, yeah. I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I can only imagine when all I would do is forever worship you. I can only imagine.
You've been listening to Grace Notes, a new program here on Life 103.1 featuring people who may be relatively unknown, but who meet life's challenges in ways that brighten the lives of those around them. Our producer is Christina Dolan. I'm Alan Button, and we invite you to join all of us here at the station again next Friday at 5:30 for Grace Notes on Life 103.1.